So if you notice, a bunch of conventions are going on right now. And here's where I stand on... Okay, I'm just playing with you, ladies and gentlemen. Just playing with you. What I really want to talk about is the 2017 Power Rangers movie, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm definitely going to see this with my group of friends, even if it takes me talking them into it. But I have one word for this movie. So, 2017 reboot. I just have one word for you. What's this? Your predecessors in the theatrical releases. Yes, you better live up to these. 'Cause I will be watching, just like I've seen these about 500 times. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, studio audiences, they bring shows to life, which basically means this show is dead. How dark. Now, just like last week and several videos earlier, we're talking about the types of studio audiences, because it did so well the first time. No sarcasm intended. Let's start with the daytime television audience. You know, like with Ellen and Rachel Ray and Kelly Ripa. Those audiences are mainly used for the cheap applause breaks, as some of you may have caught on. Because with Rachel Ray, check out my lasagna. It is made with a lot of special cheeses and spices. And then steam pops up and they're like, whoa, it's just like the cork of the champagne bottle, but I'm digging this. Another example of cheap applause is when you talk about other people's success on your show. Like, how about this one? Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon are separated. Ooh. And Mariah is stronger than ever. Next type of audience you have, late night talk show audiences. They're mostly there to, support the host. Because, usually the host is, he can be popular, he can be a legend. But most of the time, they're just there to laugh with the host. Yeah, apparently, if you look at shows like Conan O'Brien, that show appeals to the teenage audience. Yeah, I remember being in middle school, watch Conan all the time. And I would watch it on demand, watch it when Leno wasn't on. Yes, I know exactly where I was during that feud. And it doesn't even have to be a live show. It could be sitcoms. But there's two different kind of audiences for sitcoms. Now, think about ordering food. Do you want the real thing or a condensed can? But the real audience, the live studio audiences. Some audiences are encouraged to be obnoxious, it feels like. This is an inference, of course. But if you watch shows like Married with Children, you hear the really obnoxious Arsenio Hall audience going woo, 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 basically. Well, it was the 90s, so we gotta at least be sensitive toward that. Because the 90s was the home of the obnoxious audiences that woo every time someone is kissing, even married couples. I mean, seriously, they're already together. It's not like a will they, won't they. Come on, this isn't Friends where, whoever gets together got together. Now let's quickly reverse back to the daytime audience stuff. Ever noticed that you always get shots of a random member of the audience either staring, laughing, or applauding? Most of the time they're like, I have no idea the camera's here. Like, I can easily revert my eyes to the left and see a big camera in my face. But you know what? I think the warm-up guy was telling us not to do that. But I feel like my hairs are sticking up. That this guy is so close to me. Why are you wearing such a black shirt, bro? Alright, so we got a lot more show to fill, of course. So that being said, I'm gonna need a minute. So we talked about this before on the show. We talked about cheap knockoffs. But now let's sort of knock that off and talk about copycats. Yeah, that's not close at all. So of course everyone's seen this. You want to save money, so you don't buy the actual thing. Let's say there was Oreos you wanted. You don't buy the Oreos. You buy the chocolate cookie sandwiches with the creamy middles. That's actually what it says on the box. I'm more than convinced. Streaming services and online video services, sometimes they can't afford the actual movie because there's too much soundtrack that they can't pay for. So they would completely rip off the movie and make a cartoon version of said movie that couldn't have costed more than $50. Chop Kick Panda, Tappy Toes, you've seen them. You know exactly what movie they're trying to make out of this. Let's say Mowgli wasn't raised by wolves. Let's say Jambalaya was raised by the wildcats, and we call this movie The Forest Story. Now I'm going to see if I can just title copycat movies just by saying the actual title of the real thing. So How to Train Your Dragon, How to Teach a Reptile, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Rodents That Sing, there we are, Dirty Dancing, dancing that happens to be dirty, Footloose, Toe Tight. Okay, it's time for that weekly list known as the possibility. Yeah. What do you want? I don't get screen time anymore. Alright, this week's list is titled 4 Rejected Game Shows. Let's see, at number 4, The Price is Calculated. Number 3, Legends of Being Hit in the Temple. Number 2, The Match.com Game. And number 1, 4 rejected game shows. Who Wants to Earn Money Through PayPal? Alright, and that is the possibility list for you this week. Alright, it's time for a segment that we do on the show where I say something that sounds like a complete lie, but then I have facts to back it up later. So basically every episode I've ever done. Just kidding. It's events in history that actually happened. Alright, please, just give me a second. Just bear with me, okay? I'm going to do this right. Okay. So it was 1984, Michael Jackson was filming a Pepsi commercial, and then Pyroglyphics glitched around, and his hair caught on fire. Don't believe me? Where were you in 2009 where they revisited this stuff? Hey, at least you didn't get burnt off of coke. Well, anyway, that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, please enjoy everything prior to this video alone, and I will see you next Friday. Okay.